Hey y'all, I'm Morgan and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the book review for Age of Ash, the new Daniel Abrams book. You might recognize his name because he was one of the co-authors for the Expanse series. And I will hopefully be getting to that sometime soonish. But today, his new series. There might be a lot of rumblies in the background. This thunderstorm just refuses to leave today. I tried to wait out the worst of it, so at least there's not actual lightning cracking anymore, but still some rumblies. So the blurb on the front of this from Joe Abercrombie lists how very atmospheric this book is, and it really, really is. And I'm not gonna hold it. So the details and the feeling and the description that he has painted of this main city of Kithamar is incredible. Like, it is so refined that you might just close your eyes and picture the city. That is how much you could feel like you were in the city the whole time. The city essentially becomes another character. It was nice, though generally those hugely atmospheric isn't my favorite fantasy. It's not really my style. I like one where you're gonna give me this rich history and world. It was okay. It just made parts of it drag when we dumped into the heavy descriptors, especially through the winter months, because the course of this book takes place over 1 year in the city of Kithamar. The start of the book in the prologue is a funeral procession for the former prince of the city as he is being taken to his pyre to be burned, as all monarchs are in this city. And from there, we go back in time a year roundabout to see all the events that led up to his death and what happened, because he only ruled the city for 1 year. Over the course of the year, you see how the city goes through changes and how the city dwellers deal with different things. Like, most of the book is actually, I think, focused in winter, and so you see how winter is harder on the poor versus the rich, and how each class is subjected to different troubles. There are two main peoples in this city, which are the Enlisic and the Hening. I think I said those right. And the Enlisic are generally the poorer classes. They live in the poorer districts of the city. Also, there is a magic system slightly woven in. Most of it is just believed to be mythology or religious, or a con. Most of the people of this city kind of believe, in the gods and the rights of the gods and stuff like that, but there isn't actually magic in day-to-day for majority of the people. Our two main characters are Elise and Samish, and they're both two Longhill girls. This is an Enlisic district, which is the poorest district. How some parts of this giant city are made of stone and grand. Everything in this district is made of wood and shacks and huddled together bits. So this would be the part of the city that during winter they're struggling between paying for a place to live or eating. I don't know, but that was gone into in detail. But Elise is the one whose eyes we are really seeing through at the beginning. We are introduced to them on Coronation Day, as they are in the profession of most young people in the Longhill district, which is pulling cons. So since we went back in time, we are now at the Coronation Day of the city prince. And on Coronation Day, that is the best time to target people for their money, because everybody's drunk and partying out in the streets. The sly-footed are out making money off the drunk people. Except that Elise's group picked the wrong person. And now we see her running from a city guard, thinking she might be about to get her head cracked open. Luckily, her brother gets there just in time to save her and helps her get hidden in an underground place to keep her safe while things cool off and everybody kind of forgets about what happened. However, when she comes back out a week later, expecting to just kind of try to slide back into her whole life, she's greeted by some devastating news. And that is really what pulls on her and weighs her down throughout the whole book. Is going through her grief and anger and vengeance, trying to find answers, and that's just her whole character through the book is just swallowed up by this. And then that's where it starts to really drag hearing from Elise, because it takes forever for her to realize what she's doing and have any personal growth. Instead, she's just got her head shoved up her butt. At first, it's understandable, it's okay. And I mean, it's okay. Of course, you can people grieve over long periods of time. But what she was doing to herself, and she couldn't get past it. However, through this, we also started to see from her friend Samish's. I don't entirely know how her name is supposed to be pronounced. So Samish, though, is in love with Elise and has been for a very long time. But she's too nervous to let her feelings be known. She doesn't want to do anything. But she sees Elise going through all of this hardship and struggling with the grief by herself. So she's trying to do everything she can to help her find answers and the vengeance. And she starts finding answers and realizes that the answers she's finding and the information that Elise has found and been told are painting two different pictures. Like, Elise in her grief, she's just okay with any answer she's given. She just holds on to the smallest bit of the truth and doesn't ask any more questions. Samish, though, she finds it and she keeps asking questions. She's like, that doesn't sound right. How do you just believe these people? And so she keeps searching, she keeps digging, and she finds really bad answers. And so they start not being able to work together. And it's unfortunate because all she wants to do is help her, and she's getting drugged down, and it's just a very sad cycle. But through the long winter, things eventually come out the other end. It's weird though, it starts talking about thaw and spring, but never really gets into spring. I don't know. Eventually we're at another season, but like winter was the majority of the book, and it seemed really kind of drawn out, and things just slightly in play. And then we have our finale where they're working together, and it was just there. And then though the finale is just kind of there, it's like it was kind of building up, and it happens. It didn't go as planned, it didn't go smoothly, but when the first thing failed, it's just they immediately switched gears and succeeded, and then it ended. And the ending of the book actually was a good conclusion. It was a good stopping point, I would say. But this is not, going to be the only book. This is the first book planned in a trilogy. And I don't know, maybe I'll read the next one. We'll have to see what it's actually going to be about. But I'm okay with the way this book finished. I feel like it kind of wrapped it up pretty well. The only thing is when I got done, I had to go back to the prologue, and I read through the end of the prologue again, and it's like, oh my gosh, this connects. And I was like, okay, this makes sense too. I know what this is now. There was one paragraph, because it went like one character, it's like, okay, I know what that is now. And then Elise's character, and I was like, okay, I know when she did this. But then there was another one, and I'm not entirely certain who that other one is. I mean, I have kind of an idea, but I don't know for sure, and I question that. There's a lot of other plot issues that are brought up that just raise a lot of questions that never really got answered. How things happened, I don't know. I have questions, but still, I feel the book kind of wrapped up. It's just details that he'd included that seemed to not happen, not be really answered so much cohesively. Maybe we'll see more into the next one like that. I don't know. I gave this book a 3 stars though, because it was pretty good. It just through the middle, it dragged a little bit, and with just maybe too much over details for myself. I think overall it was a good book, and that several people will probably enjoy it. This is a book that I will recommend though if you like the atmospheric feeling books, or just light fantasy, because I will consider this a light fantasy. Age of Ash is available everywhere though. I hope you guys are all having a lovely weekend, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.